Do the research and make sure that these companies that you're reaching out to or clients that you're reaching out to have what you have to offer them. Like they need what you have, because otherwise they're just going to ignore you and swipe away. What's up, world? It's your boy, Jaron Ikner, back again for another episode of the Polyartist podcast. This is a podcast for artists who operate in different lanes, whether you're a painter, writer, photographer, DJ, or all the above. This helps you kind of navigate the tricky world of being a polyartist if it comes to mental health or organization or even AI. We've had a lot of fun this season, but I think this particular episode is the one that a lot of people have been waiting for, because in this episode, we're going to talk about the thing that makes the artist part of the career, and that's making money, monetizing, cash, dollars, green, bucks, do-re-mi. I can go on forever. There's thousands of different words for money, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Making money as a creative. This is arguably the most important thing, right? Because the more money you make, the more freedom you have to do the creative, fun stuff that you really want to do. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things in this episode, a lot of strategies, insights, some statistics, fun stuff that podcasts do. And if you're listening to this because of the algorithm, maybe you were meant to be here. So that means you should go ahead and like and subscribe to my page, and you can get more cool content. You can also go check out previous episodes of the Polyartist podcast, because we have other episodes and other fun stuff. So go take a look. You won't be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, my bad, I'm sorry. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So one thing to really think about is actually the whole creator economy to begin with. Like, did you know that $104 billion was generated in 2024? $104 billion and counting. Like, the number is still going up. The year's not done yet. And you're probably thinking like what's driving all this growth? Well, a lot of it comes down to accessibility, like with affordable recording tools and all kinds of free stuff that you can use, and platforms, including like YouTube, Patreon, Gumroad. It's a lot easier than ever to share your art with the world and get paid for it. But making money as a polyartist requires strategy and focus. You can't just throw your art into the void and hope for the best. So we're going to try to break down some ways that you can really think about how to approach that. One thing to think about is diversifying and conquering. So one of the key things to monetizing as a polyartist is diversifying your income streams. Studies show that successful creators often use 2 to 3 different revenue sources, such as subscriptions, merchandise sales, ad revenue, guest appearances, streaming sales from your music, all kinds of ways that you can actually bring in content and bring in money to generate cash in your pocket. So here's actually a couple ideas that you can think about. One is actually selling exclusive content. So when you use platforms like Patreon, for example, you can offer behind the scenes videos, early access to projects, or exclusive tutorials. Another thing to think about is merchandise, turning your designs and thoughts into clothing and accessories that resonate with people that you can sell. So using sites like Shopify or Printful can actually help simplify this process. Even this shirt I'm wearing right now, you are with me right now, this is actually a shirt that I made. I made this shirt for my album, The Setting Sun, and I sold a couple of shirts as like a keepsake that was attached to this album. If you actually want to buy the shirt, I guess I could put the link up somewhere, but it's actually not for sale anymore. It's a special thing, but let me know. Let me know in the comments. Another thing is ad revenue and affiliate marketing. So monetizing your YouTube channel or blog through ads and affiliate links. For example, if you're a filmmaker, you can recommend your favorite gear and get commission when someone actually goes and buys it, which is actually a really great strategy. There's probably going to be some affiliate links in this post that, as an example, that you can click on and give you some money while checking out examples of how you can figure out some affiliate marketing strategies for yourself. But before we continue, I actually need to drink some water real quick. Super thirsty. And if you've been watching this Polyartist podcast, and you know, it's always important to drink water. Keeping yourself hydrated and keeping yourself moist is going to keep your brain lubricated. And the more lubricated your brain is, the better art you will create. Also, I have my secret weapon right here. This stuff right here called Magic Mind. Now, you may have heard me talk about this in previous episodes, but I honestly really cannot get enough of this stuff. It's a mental performance shot, one of a kind productivity drink that features all kinds of great stuff like ashwagandha, matcha, lion's mane mushrooms, cordyceps. And the whole purpose of this drink is to get you focused and locked in. Once you take a shot of this, it kind of gives you a good 6 to 7 hours of just good focused productivity. You lock in, get stuff done. I take these for every podcast episode that I put out because I need to get stuff done. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and grab one of these, take a little sip. And as soon as it kicks in, it's like, boom. It's like I'm in the Matrix, dodging bullets, but getting work done in the process. So this is what we're going to do. I've been teaming up with Magic Mind for this podcast series to try and give you the best deals possible. I've been chatting with them. I was like, yo, activate the servers. We need to give them something good. So Black Friday deal, we got something for you. We're going to give you 50% off your order of Magic Mind if you use the code JaronBF or go to this website, magicmind.com/JaronBF. Put that in. That's JaronBF. And you will get 50% off. Now, the thing is that you only have until about the end of December 6th, which is only a couple days, to get this. And from there, I can't help you. From there, it's over, right? I can't guarantee that they're going to do this again. So, I did what I could to help you all out so you can get Magic Mind. Like I said, it's great for sharper mind, stress. It really does work, I'm telling you. So don't let me down. Go get yourself some Magic Mind. Let's keep it going. So one thing that I really hate, it's a phrase that I hear all the time, is the phrase, your network is your net worth. And the reason why I hate it is because it's true. It really is true. Like, you're only as strong as the people you surround yourself with. This is a lesson that I've learned time and time again. You can have good intentions, you can have talent, but if your network is not strong or not well connected or just not in sync, you're going to fail. It's just going to happen. So collaboration and having a strong network is probably arguably one of the best ways to make money as a polyartist, because if you're working with different artists in different lanes, they have access to people that you don't have access to. And oftentimes those people need your talent set. And if you're connected with somebody who can link you up, it's only going to make it better for all people involved. So for instance, a musician and a filmmaker could co-create a music video, sharing production costs and doubling the reach. So if you're good at filmmaking and you just need a song to shoot, for example, hit up some artists that make music, and you might be surprised. Not only will you maybe be able to shoot a music video for them, but you might make a lifelong connection or a long-term connection that will generate steady income, because musicians always need content. I actually have several musicians on my client roster where I've worked with some of these musicians for years because they constantly need content. And so even if it's not like, $1 billion per order, if they're generating $200, $300 a video or whatever over the course of several years, it tends to add up. So keep that in mind. Those connections that you have are very, very important. And you're probably wondering, how do you find these people, right? Well, one thing you can do is attend events. Also, you can join online communities, and don't underestimate the power of social media. Platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn are gold mines for making connections that can lead to new opportunities. You can cold call people, just reaching in their inbox and being like, hey, do you need these services? Now, that could be super annoying sometimes when you're trying to just slide in someone's inbox and ask them if they need work. And if you ever dealt with social media before, you probably dealt with people doing that to you. So you have to be very mindful and make sure you come correct when you do that. Do the research and make sure that these companies that you're reaching out to or clients that you're reaching out to have what you have to offer them. They need what you have, because otherwise they're just going to ignore you and swipe away. But honestly, it only takes a couple yeses to get some money in your pocket. So make sure you know what you're doing when you're approaching these potential clients, and make sure your game is solid. Make sure your demo reel is on point and all these things are on point, because there's a lot of other people who are doing the same thing as you, and you have to stand out as well. So that kind of actually leads to my next point, which is repurposing your content. So a lot of this comes down to working smarter and not harder. Repurposing your content across all platforms gives you an opportunity to reach new audiences and save you a lot of time. For example, you could take a podcast episode like this one and clip it up and put it into a TikTok short or Instagram reel. Then you can also take the transcript and turn it into a blog, or you can take some type of interaction with your fans and add a poll and read the questions and answers from the comments. There's so many different ways that you can really step outside the box and engage with people in ways that will bring more money into your pocket. Because if people see that you're over here and over here and over here in different formats, it allows you to really kind of lock in your brand, which allows people to reach out to you for work. And part of that too is having a streamlined process. A lot of the clients that I work with, I really urge that they have a website set up, because despite the amazingness that is social media, it could all go away in a heartbeat. Or, somebody might buy out the website and it becomes all weird. Or someone might decide to change the rules or the algorithm, and now your posts aren't being seen as much. But the idea is that if you're streamlining people to a website or a centralized location where they can contact you, see your previous work, understand your prices, et cetera, so forth, it makes it a lot easier to manage, but it also makes you more marketable. Because one thing, and this is a pro tip that actually I think people don't really think about a lot, is having a website, but then also having an email with that website URL at the end. So yeah, you can use a Gmail account. It's free and, cheap. But if you can go and have, polyartistpodcast.com, Jaron at polyartistpodcast.com, that looks a lot more professional. You'll be a lot more likely to pull in those type of clients who are looking for something a lot more professional. So as polyartists, we often juggle a lot. So finding efficient routes to get those clients is actually critical to your strategy. Well, another thing to think about is overcoming challenges. Of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Managing multiple streams can be chaotic. It can get crazy. So having organization tools can be very, very useful. One of the more popular ones right now are Notions and Airtables. But, one thing I actually do a lot is literally just having a whiteboard. Having a simple whiteboard that has all your stuff kind of laid out and having your goals on there, having your current projects on there, et cetera, and so forth, can actually take you pretty far. You'll be surprised how far a simple whiteboard can do for your career in terms of just having things organized. Also, be mindful of burnout. So this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier in terms of like having those multiple revenue streams, is that when you have multiple revenue streams, things get kind of crazy managing different projects, especially if you're doing different projects in different genres and different fields. If you're over here painting a mural for somebody, but then you're over here DJing every night, you might hit burnout pretty quick. So remember to set clear boundaries and prioritize high impact projects. Maybe prioritize it by the amount of money you're making, but don't screw over people because a better or bigger, higher paying client comes along, because that's how you end up losing clients. Be mindful, keep your morals intact, and do the right thing when it comes to monetizing your clients, but also being respectful of their time and their patience. So remember, you don't have to monetize everything that you do. Focus on the things that bring you joy and align with your current long-term goals. Not everything is going to bring you money, and you're not good at everything enough to monetize it. If you are, fantastic, but keep in mind that you have to keep your mental health intact. You don't want to be running around here with like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to do 18 different things because you're making $50 off of it. So to wrap some things up here, there are 3 steps here that you can take to really monetize your art. One is identify your monetizable skills. Write down all your talents and brainstorm ways to turn each of those into an income stream. If you think you're good at writing, maybe look into, writing for Medium, your own blog stream, or finding publications that are looking for writing services. Oftentimes, even your local newspaper might want some freelance journalists. So make sure you choose your right platform, whether it's YouTube, Etsy, Skillshare. Pick platforms that align with your skill and audiences. And that can take some time, because you might think that you belong on YouTube when really you might belong on Skillshare. And you might think that your art might sell as its own Shopify store, but it might actually reach a better and wider audience on Etsy. So these are things that you have to kind of think about when it comes to putting your art out there in a way that actually makes sense. And most importantly, build your community. Engage with your fans through social media, have newsletters, live events and meetups. A loyal community will support you as more than anything else. And I'm actually testament to that. When I think about when I try to do my first movie, The Bond, I actually called upon my community that has been following me for years to help fund it. And we raised about $13,000, $14,000 for that film in order to get it done. And that's because I knew that I had a loyal community that would be willing to see that movie come to light. So it was important to me to make sure that I tapped into them to, help me out with that. So just keep in mind that being a polyartist is a gift, but it's also a challenge. And with the right mindset, tools, and strategies, you can turn your creative passions into a thriving career. But remember, your creativity is your currency, so use it wisely. You don't want to end up burnt out. You don't want to end up, pulling yourself way too thin and stretching yourself too thin. Keep your creativity and keep your heart intact, because that's what it's all about for you as a polyartist. So thank you guys for watching this episode of the Polyartist Podcast. We'll be back again soon with more great stuff for you. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And if you have any questions or concerns, leave a comment below and we'll read them out and see what we can do for you. It means the world to me for all polyartists who are watching this, who are vibing. I had a couple of people reach out to me and say like, hey, your last episode was really interesting about AI. And that means a lot, because it means that this is resonating. I know we're not seeing crazy hundreds of millions of viewers or followers yet, but the fact that these podcasts are reaching the artists in a way that's genuine means the world to me. So thank you so much. This is your boy, Jaron. I'll see y'all later. Peace.